This one might be pretty short, but it's a perspective shift that I had recently that I find really helpful, and it's really motivating. So a lot of times when I talk to my team, I try to encourage everybody on the team to start creating these healthy habits like exercising and eating healthy and that kind of stuff, because everybody on my team is pretty young. And so as somebody that's 51 now, I remember kind of how it feels to be younger, and sort of like the difference in how things are when you're younger. You know, like for example, when I was in my 20s, I was like overweight, and at one point I got fed up with it, and decided to get in shape over a summer. And so within 3 months, I think I lost about 50 pounds, and I put on muscle and did all these things. And I didn't really even know what I was doing. This was like, I think it was like, I don't remember what year it was, but it was probably like 1999 or maybe 2000. So like the internet wasn't quite as there wasn't as much information. And so I just kind of like did just sort of what I thought I needed to do. I mean, obviously I stopped eating like shit food, and then I started working out. I was just using the gym in my apartment building, and just like 3 days a week, and like I made like crazy progress in 3 months, like lost 50 pounds and like actually got pretty in pretty good shape. So I know work is the work is more than the age difference, but like it was considerably easier in my 20s. Like I'm not 50 pounds overweight, so it's not like I have to do that again, but if I did, it would be harder to do at my age. So when I'm trying to encourage them to create these habits now that they're young. And so for me, it's like I was thinking, like the way my perspective was like, oh, it was so much easier when I was younger. But I was listening to this podcast. It was called this Modern Wisdom podcast. I don't remember who he was talking to, but he said something that really stuck with me. And it was like, he said something along those lines, like it's a lot easier when you're younger. Like you put on muscle faster, like your mind is sharper and all these kind of things. So like a lot of things are easier to do when you're younger. Your energy levels are higher, so you probably would have an easier time doing a lot of things like outside of getting into shape. So that's one way to look at it. Like if you're older and you're looking back and you're like, man, everything was so much easier then. But what they said was, what I hadn't really thought about it this way, was it's never going to be easier for you than it is right now. So like even at my age, like I know I'm not super old, but like 51 is, it's up there, but it's still never going to be easier than it is right now. And so when I'm 61, I'll probably look back on the version of me that I am now and think like, oh man, it was so much easier to do this and that. When I'm 81, or if I live that long, or if I live to like 85 or 90 or something, I'm sure my mind won't be as sharp. I definitely won't be able to put on muscle as fast as I can now. I probably, I won't have the time to do these business moves and all this kind of shit. So like everything in my life that I want to do, if I want to get in better shape, I want to build this business, and I want to do all these kind of things, it's never going to be easier than it is right now. Sure, it may have been easier, when I was younger to do certain things, but that doesn't change the fact that it's never going to be easier than it is right now. So I'm finding it really motivating. And so whether you're my age or you're younger and you're listening to this, it applies. So like if you're in your 20s, it's never going to be easier than it is right now to do a lot of things that you want to do. So I find it motivating to just start right now, whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, obviously if you're like 17, it's going to be easier to get like a business loan a little later down the line. But, most things, it's not going to be any easier than it is right now. So you might as well capitalize on that wherever it is that you are in life. Capitalize on the fact that right now is the best time to do whatever it is that you want to do. So, hope that helps. I know that was short, but I don't really want to ramble about a subject that I think is pretty clear. Anyway, I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, good. Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.